Hey everybody, Spectrum Minecraft here, and today I'm here for another tutorial. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make this really simple piston elevator. And there's a catch to this. So if you're looking for an elevator that you can use all the time, seriously don't waste your time with this. Leave now, because this isn't this is basically like a single use elevator, which I guess it's not exactly single use. It can work 3 times until the setting gets out of order and it's all messed up. If you're looking for an elevator that you can go up and down with all the time, you know, that's sort of where this came from. I was trying to make that, but then I got lazy and it just sort of got all complicated and stuff, but I came up with this. And what you're going to use this for is mainly for adventure maps. I wouldn't say like a super hostile type of thing where you have to travel from back and forth from locations, but just like an adventure map where you have like maps set up where you have to move from area to area, and once you're completed with the area you don't really go back if you're sort of like traveling. Like if you're making an adventure map where you have no need to go back to a position, this essentially would be a perfect idea to have a really cool transition from a zone into a completely different zone. Like you could go from like a jungle setting and then step in here and be like, click that button, what I did before. So how you'd like have it set up is you'd have you'd run up to it, and then you'd have like a sign or something that would be like, oh yeah, click this, ready to move on to the next location or whatever. You'd have maybe this like little dystopic ruin sites with this elevator, and then you take the elevator up, and then you'll pop up here into like a little office building or something, I don't know, post-apocalyptic rooms, and you could have like a cool transition like that in adventure maps. So I don't know how much freaking time I spent talking about the intro there, but let's get into this. And I'm sorry if I absolutely brutally I'm doing this live tutorial, so I'm not gonna cut out mistakes because I don't have time for that right now. But basically this is like a redstone clock thingy. So what you have is you have your piston here, then you go up an amount of blocks and have one like here. Yeah, so when the blocks from here push up, then this one shoves it this way, and then they can sort of go around. So let's see, right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this one needs to go down. So you have it going in a little little passage that will push the blocks around so they can move stuff around with the blocks inside. And using this design, I tried to make an elevator that could go up and down. That was incredibly hard. You cannot even imagine, actually. Like, you know, I'll run over and show you guys. I'm not in any rush right now, but this is what I had originally designed. It was stupid because initially it could go up and down, but once you press this one this way, there's nothing else to like feed the piston to keep it pushing. It was all just like a bunch of, I'm not the best with redstone, so this is all I managed to get. Now, did I do this right? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did this right. So this space here, so this space, and I think there needs to be another space. So when this piston, let's just test this to make sure that, so this one goes up, and then this one pushes, and that one pushes. Yeah, so that would be right. So you're gonna want inside 3 corners missing and only 1 of the corners actually filled. So when that one pushes that way, pushes that way, pushes, so you can have like a continuous circuit. So actually I will make a cut because I'm just gonna hook these all up to redstone. I'll do the first little part here for you, but we get repeaters hooked to the piston so that it will work. Here should be good. Actually I'm not gonna use iron because that's what we're using on the inside. So just to see what I'm hooking the let's use diamond blocks to see. That's what the redstone is. The redstone trail will be set up on. So give me a second, guys. I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Don't mind my little weird ass thing back there. I thought those sheep were slimes for a second, but yeah, so basically what we got set up is we have redstone, a line that goes from here up the stairs on this side, has to go to this second repeater so that, you know, the redstone signal doesn't run out. And I put this block here so that the redstone doesn't run to itself, and it just keeps going up like this until it gets to this one. And the thing is, the pistons here, you're going to want to set them to the 4th delay. For it to be the safest, I think. I'm not the best with this design, honestly. It just sort of came, it just sort of happened over there. I'm showing it to you guys, so I don't know if it's perfect. It's not a fast elevator at any rate. So let's just start that off really quickly and see. So now we got it turning. So there's step 1. So now you can get the elevator to go up. But now the problem is we gotta get this thing to stop. I'm not the best with redstone. I think this thing is gonna end up messy. I hope I can get you guys through this. This is this guy called Kame. I think I talk about him lots in my videos. He's really good with redstone. He'd probably laugh at this video right now. Hope he doesn't watch it. But basically we gotta get this to stop after it sends us the height that we want it to bring us. So let's go take a look. Actually, take a look at my bed for a second. I'll just sleep here, and I'll show you guys how I did that on my other thing here. And by the way, this gold line on my original thing was a second line of repeaters that was connected to the second set of pistons, which was supposed to push the entire contraption the opposite way to make it go back down. And that's something that I could have done, but I'm lazy. I could do something like that in the future, but honestly it hurt my mind thinking about this. It was just like a massive jigsaw puzzle at the time. But if you wanted to and you were feeling fancy today, you could try to make the second set of pistons, which over here you'd have a piston that would go here, and if you understand this clock enough, you'd have a second line of redstone that would go to the top one, so that this thing would go the opposite way. So one set of pistons pushes it this way and the other one pushes it counterclockwise, which would in theory bring it up and down. So, you know, I'm pretty sure you can do that. Hell, that would be a perfect working elevator idea, but right now we're just doing this one. I'll have a second tutorial in the future because shit, I can get that to work. So now we got this mess, which is how you get the elevator to stop working after it's gone a certain distance, after it's gone a certain height. So, well, let's set up the dock, the little docking station where you're gonna walk up this thing. So once you got this thing, once you had it so that it works in a counterclockwise circle, I hope you guys can. Okay, how the hell do I clear my inventory? There we go. Okay. Using netherrack because that's simple. So this is where we get in to our special elevator thingy. This would be the entrance, and what we gotta do here is this is the space where you stand. I'm gonna put a wall back here, and this second block goes farther back so that you can have a button. So once you have that set up, it's not really that confusing. If you had trouble following that, you just want to have those space in the iron clear, 2 blocks, and then a little box around you. Make sure that it doesn't get in the way of the initial iron blocks or whatever type of block you want to push your thing around. And then you're gonna want the wall back here with 1 space out, and this is gonna where you're gonna have your button that you press. And I might as well just put in the fences so that the elevator so that this room moves with the elevator, so that it doesn't get all weird and funky, because you need these blocks that will push with it. Yeah, it's easy stuff. So right here, this button is what we're gonna have this run to. It's a bunch of crazy back and forth stuff. So as we see over here, this is the button block, and it runs 1 stream straight to my redstone line, which is broken here for reasons which we'll get to that. But so one one string goes straight to the redstone line, and make sure it's in front of the arrow here. So over on our little thing that we made, that would go right here. So this repeater, the initial middle one, is facing this way. We want that to find a redstone again, a repeater, and redstone straight from the button. Just quickly make sure that the button works, so it goes that way. Actually, I'll set it back one more, just so that I can run the repeater in, so that it doesn't send a double signal back, which would be insanely annoying. So you gotta make sure it's a repeater feeding into this stream, so that it doesn't come back. Because if this was just redstone going in, once your circuit was going, this would come back around and come back into the stream and go this way, which would create a lot of problems. So just make sure it's a repeater so that it only goes the one way. So now that you got that done, we got the fancier stuff going on. So that was simple. Now we got to make a timer, which I just did by stacking repeaters, and then this in the end runs to a counter switch clock thing. Yeah, I guess a counter click swap. You know what, I'll just go make this over here so you guys can see what happened. And you gotta know how many repeater times it will take for this thing to get to the top, which can take some experimenting and messing around. So let's make a little pad right here. Should be good. This way back, and honestly this is good. So fourth tick, 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 fourth tick. Gotta be careful so you don't do it like this, because that just double feeds and you don't want that. You want it to be a signal that goes like this instead of just connecting right here, which would make problems. Yeah, so a bunch of fourth ticks, and then the last stream that's gonna go this way. This one is smaller than that one, so I'm pretty sure this feed needs to be smaller. So let's just try this out for right now. And yeah, this is when it gets all sketchy and confusing if you're not an incredibly smart person. I found this ridiculously. Let's go take a quick look, just so I can get a feel for this. So the repeater that fed into our actual like diamond block circuit that feeds the pistons that push this thing around also went over here to immediately start a timer, which put this block into here so that the, oh my god, this is pretty confusing, and it's hard for me to explain in the tutorial because it always takes me a while to build it, just because it's sort of confusing and stuff. So let's get our timer, and it has to be a bigger timer, but this is basically just an infinite redstone clock that is supposed to keep itself active permanently, which means obviously that, you know, it's not supposed to stop, so that once you get this redstone here on, it will stay on like this until something breaks it. So we need this. As soon as this starts, you also want to make sure that this is on, so that right here, oh my god, I really hope that you guys can follow this in the tutorial. With a stone block, so that immediately as you hit the button here, it's going to send a signal down, which is going to start this clock from spinning, which at the same time sends from the same stream right here, which turns this infinite little thing on, which is going to stick this piston forward. Now I gotta move this over a bit, just so that we can actually get the piston on. I did this sort of awkwardly, but this should go immediately into the stream where here. So like this, like this, and this should immediately be an infinite stream. Yeah, so it's gonna hold that out until something comes by and breaks it. So this is where our piston counter thingy comes in. You know, I'm gonna make this repeater 2 actually, because I don't want the redstone charge doubling back. And then the last thing that you gotta do is the whole thing comes to this cancel node, I guess, that this block is always into the stream, so that the stream, this block here represents a piece of redstone. Pretend that that's not, pretend that that's not there, pretend that there's a piece of redstone there, but instead that block is replaced by this stone, because this just acts as a redstone. It signals over, the signal transfers over the stone, just as if it was a piece of redstone dust. So now, after your whole charge comes out, it just needs to cancel this so that this turns off for like a second for everything to turn off. So that should be simple. So our redstone block would be right here. You have it pushed forth from the sticky piston right here, like this. Yeah, I'm just gonna extend this a bit. Yeah, and basically we're almost done here, guys. So just bear with me on this. If this was a ridiculously bad tutorial, I always mean to be optimistic, but I'm not sure like how easy this was to follow. Because I know that for me, this was incredibly confusing to follow, or to make, I guess. It's just like really confusing, not very fun to make. Okay, so now that we got this set up, which means that we have our infinite thing set up here, and this is how you test it out. So basically, this ring should be set up perfectly like this, and this is always on until the one time when you bring your redstone around so that it cancels itself out like that. And until that happens, until you get redstone from like right here, then all of that turns off. Your redstone signal here goes away, which what happened is this turns off so that this piston pulls in, so that the redstone signal doesn't transfer in this automatic ring anymore, which pulls this one back, which turns this off, which pulls this back, which in the end makes this whole circuit turn off. Confusing. Now let's see if this works. Here's, let's go sleep in a bed. Here's the moment of truth to see if I have to redo this recording or not. Let's go sleep in a bed and go back and check this out. Yeah, let's see if this thing works and how high it's gonna go. One block. Oh, so my problem was over here. For some reason this didn't stay, which means that, here, let's take a look at what I did wrong. That sucks. I guess this should be a longer discharge, so that I can keep my circuit moving. I don't know why the circuit's not following, why it sort of dies. Let's take a quick look. So now let's just see if this is just a plain block right here. Doesn't carry. So let's move this thing over one block, because it could be something that I didn't understand, that the redstone, if it like is close enough, it has to be coming into a piston or out of one. Let's go check out what I had over here. So it goes in and it's feeding from the piston. So I have it on the wrong side. Whoops. So this I can always just remove the repeater over here, because repeaters are nice and they'll work around for you if you need them to. And this is simple, so we just have this instant charge going around right here. So, I honestly don't know why that didn't work, but I hope that you guys saw how I fixed that. Oh, what the hell, now I'm missing a redstone dust. Now it's stuck, because this isn't on a third tick. Okay. Now it's cycling. There you go. So that's what you need to get done. So my problem was we can learn from mistakes like this too. I've seen tutorials like this before. Don't be worried where you make mistakes because it helps you learn from them. So I couldn't have this behind the repeater when it was over here. Instead, I needed to just put it behind it so that the piston instantly feeds into the block, which pushes it forward, and make sure that the repeater is always on the fourth tick so that it can work. So let's just fix right here. Take out those fences and then put in our fences over where the door is supposed to be. And this is where your one use comes in for your adventure map that you made for your friends, for the people of the internet. Come here, hit the switch, and now your elevator is moving you upwards. And hell, I don't know when this is gonna stop. Took me a bit too high. If you consider that too high because you no longer have a roof over your head, so we just bring that down a couple ticks. I still need a repeater there just so that it continues, but you know, now this is the fine tuning at the end where you just have to see where you want your ladder to end. And I guess I should have said that this tutorial is for people who have prerequisite knowledge of making redstone and don't mind using a lot of their time to learn it out. But at the end you just have to fine tune that over there so you see how long it takes for it to get back and cancel the signal. And there you go. So that took me up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, which is not the greatest, but I can bring you a floor. So I guess if you did exactly like I did and you come in from like a little cave and then you come on top of it and move off somewhere else. This one brought me up the distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a lot better than the one over here, but you can make this, which is cool because you can make this until this gets up to 12 blocks, like my iron blocks that are the ones that are pushed around inside the clock. Until that's 12, because pistons can't push any more than 12 blocks, you can make this thing as big as you want. So in essence, you could have this thing that much bigger, which would be 12 blocks in the big square, and this thing would bring you, I don't know, 8 or whatever, how many blocks up. So you have to take out the 2 that you start, I guess the one that you stand on 2. I don't know, you could probably, actually hell, I don't know, is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's only like 10, so you can still get space. But if you have any questions, please ask me them. I'm going to try to make this to be able to go back down, but I'm not exactly a redstone genius, so there's a problem. But anyways, you guys can do that with yourselves and try to make your own tutorials if you want of how to make it go back down. But it's a real headache to deal with because you have to make a second section like this for that side. Or I guess you could somehow figure out how to wire this side over there. But it's just a big headache because basically if you wanted to make it go back down, you would just build the exact same thing but opposite. So the second piston's up here with that whole thing on that side. It's just a big headache. But I didn't want to do that, but because it's a big deal. I'll try to get that in the future if I get enough likes and comments, because honestly I'm not going to do this just if no one's going to see it and if no one wants it, because it's a headache. I said that like 6 times. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Please share this, like this. If I haven't stolen enough of your time yet, please tell your friends about this if you think that they'd be into having a quick little contraption like that on their maps, which would be interesting. I don't know how many times the community has done something like this. I originally made this myself, but it's Minecraft, so I'm absolutely sure someone has made this before I have and possibly put it on YouTube. I don't look. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Spectrum out.